folks. Have had a good Wednesday. I'm 5 News Chief Meteorologist Skot Covert, tracking your Thanksgiving forecast and beyond right here on 5 Plus. This is the perfect spot for us to dive deep into the data and get you a look at that 10-day forecast. First things first, had a warm front trying to lift through the area today. We've got an approaching area of low pressure. You might feel it in your bones, right? A lot of folks can often feel these weather systems as they begin to change, and that may be you today. Unfortunately, our weather pattern looks to be relatively active over the next 7 to 10 days. So don't put up that ibuprofen just yet. Good chance you're going to need it in the coming days. Warm front resulted in some warmer temperatures pretty much area-wide, but especially along and south of Interstate 40. This low pressure system's pushing off towards the north and east, and eventually it's going to swing us a cold front. A lot of precipitation, not all that making it to the ground. Most of it fizzles out before it gets here, but there is a slight chance of a stray shower across northwest Arkansas later this evening. The big takeaway is as that cold front slides through, our numbers are going to fall off a cliff. We go from 54 late this afternoon down to about 35 by 4 o'clock in the morning, and we don't stop there. Overnight low temperatures probably in the upper 20s, low 30s area-wide. Mostly cloudy skies expected the rest of this evening into the overnight hours. That, too, likely the case into the River Valley. But slowly but surely throughout the course of your Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, we'll introduce a little bit more sunshine into the forecast. Here's everything we're tracking. It's going to turn cold, unfortunately, just in time for your Thanksgiving holiday. But this is not our last cold front. We got a second cold front on the way that's going to arrive into this weekend. That same cold front also could provide something in the way of snow chances. No, not here locally. I know a lot of folks got their hopes up right then. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that to you. We're talking about up in Missouri, specifically the Columbia area where the Razorbacks take on Mizzou Saturday here at 2:30. We'll take a look at that forecast. First, we are having clear skies out there in terms of precipitation. Nothing falling from those clouds right now. It has been pretty overcast across a large majority of the area. Winds are going to continue to increase this evening as a result of that front moving in. These winds right out of the northwest, they go from about 15-mile-per-hour gust on average to closer to 8, 9 o'clock. We're getting closer to that 30-mile-per-hour threshold. So it's going to be breezy out there overnight tonight. Now, not enough to cause damage, but it's going to be raining leaves for a little bit, and you might have some yard decorations, specifically those that have those Christmas inflatables out, might get pushed around just a bit. Big takeaway is if you're going to be out and about this evening, whether that's a last-minute trip to the grocery store or maybe to go see some Christmas lights with family that's in town, you better bundle up. Not only are temperatures going to be dropping quickly, winds increasing. That recipe gives us wind chill values that are going to be pretty chilly for many of us. Now, I told you there's a slight chance of a stray shower. I know you're probably seeing a lot of green here, but here's the thing. Number one, all this is really light in nature. This is more along the lines of a drizzle or a mist. And most of this is probably evaporating before it reaches the ground. It's dry outside. Using a little bit more lotion, some chapstick lately, that's that really dry air mass in place, and that's going to chip away at most of this before it even hits the ground. Some folks might end up feeling a sprinkle or two out there. I'm not going to rule it out. We'll have about a 20% chance of that in northwest Arkansas, 10% chance in the River Valley. This is 9:30 Wednesday evening, and you might also notice a little bit of an increase in precipitation south of Interstate 40, specifically from Poteau through Waldron, maybe into the Paris area. Early Thursday morning, probably while most folks are asleep, that's going to be drifting off towards the south. Either way, not a big impact for us. Your Thanksgiving forecast shows you better dress warm out there. Dress warm like these fellas. 30s at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, 40s by lunchtime, back in the 30s for those that have Thanksgiving dinner plans. But here's the thing. These are actual air temperatures. Those winds, well, they're not going to be as breezy tomorrow. They're still going to be there enough that we'll see wind chill values. Get this. 20s at 8 o'clock, 30s by lunchtime, 20s by 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. It is going to be a cold Thanksgiving. Now, about those snow chances. Let's put Futurecast into motion here. This is going to be Friday afternoon into the evening. Clouds on the increase to our north. There's going to be a disturbance passing through the area that's likely to produce some precipitation, some of which is going to be frozen in parts of central, eastern Kansas, northern Missouri, and that's probably going to begin early in the day Saturday. So if you're traveling up for the game, you might just want to be aware of changing weather conditions. We're not looking at a big blizzard per se, But when it's all said and done, there are going to be parts of central Missouri around the Columbia area that could see around an inch or inch or so of some snow. There will be a transition line where the rain transitions into some sleet before moving into the snow area. This is Saturday morning, 7 o'clock. It's looking to be moving into the area ahead of the game, with some snow flurries likely continuing into the first part of that Razorback Mizzou game. This is going to be 2 o'clock, so kickoff's at 2:30. Futurecast still shows the potential for some precipitation, but by the second half of the game, I think we're going to be trending on the drier side of things. One thing's for sure, it's going to be downright cold. Wind chill values in the 20s, actual temperatures in the low 30s, certainly cold enough to produce a little bit of wintry precipitation that very well could begin to accumulate. 10-day forecast here in Northwest Arkansas. Your Turkey Day forecast shows us waking up right around 30 degrees Thursday morning, 46 in the afternoon. You know what? We'll have more sunshine on Friday, but we're still not likely to make it out of the 40s. By Saturday, we have a very subtle warm up to 52, 10% chance of rain on Saturday. The reason we've got a 10% chance of rain, not that it's going to be too impactful for many, most will probably stay dry. There's going to be a second cold front. It's actually going to be our third of the week, but second, aside from the one that's moving into the area this evening. That arrives Saturday night. Temperatures are going to drop pretty quickly behind that one as well. Sunday morning, do you go to an early morning church service? Holy moly, you better wear a big heavy coat. 23 out the front door Sunday morning, 48 in the afternoon. Next week, we do find some more seasonable temperatures, so we're warming things back up, low 50s Monday and Tuesday. But then things start to get a little bit more active the second half of next week. And at least as of right now, I don't see any signal for widespread precipitation. But what I do find next Wednesday, next Thursday, next Friday, where you start to see those low chances of rain, I do start to see a little bit more moisture moving into the area with some more active weather moving our direction. What's been lacking with tonight's cold front, with the one that's going to move into the area on Saturday, is any meaningful moisture to produce precipitation as these fronts come through. That may not be the case going into next week, so we're going to start to increase your rain chances there. In the River Valley, let's dive into those numbers. 37 out the front door tomorrow morning. I've got my turkey and my Thanksgiving cornucopia on the wrong day. I apologize for that. Should have moved it over. Yeah, you know, I make mistakes. Friday, we're going to see lots of sunshine. No mistake about that. 51 in the afternoon. A few more clouds ahead of that next cold front on Saturday. By Sunday, partly cloudy skies. Getting a little bit warmer, but still going to be chilly out there. Really cold mornings, somewhat mild afternoons. And when you're looking at those afternoon high temperatures, one thing to keep in mind is we're only hitting those 50s for an hour or so. We hit those afternoon high temperatures, and then really soon after that, the sun begins to set, temperatures begin to cool off. So overall, it's going to feel a lot like it often does for the last week of November going into the first week of December, and also looking for slightly better chances of rain next Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday in the River Valley as opposed to Northwest Arkansas. And the reason why, the source of that moisture that we're looking at going into next week, coming up from the south. And so just that few miles of a difference maybe gives us a slightly better chance for a few scattered showers. Look at those numbers, though. We go from barely getting out of the 40s, only about a degree or two for the next couple of days. Fast forward to days 8, 9, and 10, next Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We very well could be back in the 60s, getting weather whiplash around these parts. Lots of ups, lots of downs. And you know what? That's not going to stop anytime soon as long as this weather pattern remains as active as it is. From all of us here in the 5 News Weather Center, meteorologist Zach Scott, Stephen Elmore, Bella Grace, myself, we hope you have a lovely Thanksgiving.